hear you through this, am I?
Yeah, you'll hear those. Yeah.
Well, footy fans, good morning and welcome out to Tormore Reserve for the Deakin University match of the round. It's being played between two of the best teams from Division One, and they've both found their way into Premier Division. It is Boronia and the Basin. We're joined by Ryan Long, Media Manager of the EFNL, whose voice you'll hear in a moment. But we are also grateful to be joined by a very special guest, the coach of the Basin women's football team, Julia Baker. Welcome. Great to have you.
Thanks, guys. It's good to always come back and play at Boronia. We speak about rivals, but we actually really like the Boronia girls. Look, I know the clubs are rivals, but we actually really like them.
Absolutely, and your coaching counterpart, Scott Nicholas, who's just about 10 metres away from you, he's what I like to describe as a friend of the show. So today will be definitely a great game. So how have you found Premier Division? Because you have managed to to get that win, and it was celebrated by a fair few clubs. Even I've noticed the Eastern Devils got in on that and celebrated the win with you. And then obviously you played last week. But how have you found it so far?
Yeah, look, we probably came in with a little bit of doubt, knowing coming off a grand final loss, thinking elevated to Premier Division. How does that sit with us? We knew we definitely deserved to be there, but it's probably that confidence that you need to find in yourselves. And having that win a couple of weeks ago against Boronia, even though it was only a couple of points, probably did give us that confidence that both teams deserve to be in Premier Division. Obviously, last week's loss was disappointing, but Eastern Devils are the cream of the crop, and that's something that we need to strive towards.
Absolutely. And Julia, you go back a couple of years ago now with Premier B, and you got a good chance to play in those crossover games. Some of these sides now in Premier Division, in your Devils, your South Croydons. Have you been able to take much from those games, and then coming into this season knowing sort of what the benchmark is and what you've got to improve on coming up a division? Yeah,
absolutely. We probably have, our teams progressed quite quickly from that skill development, and then in Premier B a few years ago we realised that structure and how important that was. And some of us were aware of the importance of it, but because we did come from a new team in 2018, we had to build the capacity of the players, and now we're moving into that structure side of things, and more importantly that footy IQ stuff as well that we're still working on. The importance of slowing the game down when needed. So that's definitely a work in progress, but structurally, that gave us a really good insight.
And for yourself, you just jumped into the coaching spot only a few weeks ago. Have you seen the transition for yourself at probably short notice to jump into that role while also still being a player at the club?
Yeah, it was short notice, absolutely, but it's something that I've probably considered. As much as I'd love to be playing forever, probably know that I can't. I'm 32 at the moment, and it's something that isn't going to be there forever, but probably coaching can be. So I have probably started developing myself in that space. It has happened quicker than I thought. The juggle of playing and coaching is something that I'm still learning very much. So I'm really lucky to have the support of Tony Hubber as our assistant coach, and I've recently just got Matt Bailey back on board as well, obviously previous coach of the club. So having that support on the bench does make it a lot easier, particularly so that I can go out and play that role. The only thing that's probably changed slightly is that I've probably moved into that, coaching on the field is a huge thing if you can do it. So it's probably gone from more of an encouraging type voice out there to more of a coaching voice, which I think will continue to evolve. But I think that's only a positive.
Absolutely. And just on, obviously, we've talked about Danielle Brotto a lot as someone who can kick 3 or 4 goals and probably lead the way up forward. But who else has stood up in certainly the forward line, and obviously yourself not out there today? Who else is sort of you look for to stand up and kick your goals and against another tough side in Boronia who do actually pick up a couple of players from VFL level this week too?
Yeah, and that's a great question. That's something that we're still developing. We've had we're lucky to have two rucks in Bridie Winbanks and Jamie Monk. So having that flexibility in that forward line with those two has been really positive. Jamie Monk in particular has a great set of hands and has been going down there and slotting some goals.
Absolutely.
We do rely on particularly if I am playing down back, we rely on our midfield to kind of bob up and kick a few goals. But as you know, Brotto's invaluable. But she's also targeted, obviously, because she is so good in that full forward kind of role. So one-on-one, she'll win every day of the week. So it's our job to make sure that whoever is down there is supporting her to free her up to kick to kick a goal because we know she loves one, and she'll go back and listen to this as well.
Well, Julia, this might be the first time we've actually spoken to you on a Deakin University Women's Match of the Round. It's great to have you on. All the best today, and yeah, enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully it's a good one for you.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Thanks,
So
Julia.
Julia Baker, the coach of the Basin women's footy side. It's great to chat to her, as we said, and she mentioned also Matt Bailey, who will get insights from today as well throughout the game, as Julia has to shoot off at one
Absolutely.
point. But Ryan, good morning to you, and it's great to it's great to have you here for a women's match of the round.
Yeah, thanks, John. It's my first game of the season for the women's competition, so good to be out here at Tormore Reserve. Conditions not too bad. I think the rain will hold off. So, no, it's good to get out here. Two great rivals, and we're actually just now joined by the senior coach of the Boronia Football Club in Scott Nicholas. Scott, welcome to the broadcast again. It's good to be out here in again a Boronia Basin match of the round.
It is on, I think.
Good to be back, guys. Good to see you both. Yeah, it's awesome. Enjoyed the broadcast the last few matches, so it's good to have you out here today.
I think I've been on for every single Boronia Basin game, and it just gets better and better, doesn't it? Every single time, and you've got a great rivalry between the two sides. But obviously, last year you got the chocolates in that final game of the season. Describe last season from a coaching perspective, because you ended up having some of your own players graduating to VFL level, and how incredible is that?
Yeah, we always talk about our program and the growth in the program. Obviously, with that is the growth in the players. So last season was exciting for us to see a lot of players who have been part of the program since the start or come along since, I guess, achieve success on field, which is obviously what we're here to do. It's not the only thing we're here to do, but to see the individual growth in some of the girls as well, and to have Rachel Slater and Ali Gottliebson be contracted by VFLW clubs is really exciting for us in our program. And we've now got a few under-18s running around in the senior team as well, which again is the first year we've ever had an under-18 girls. So yeah, we point to that. And I think last season was the first look at what that might look like with some of those players stepping up. But I think the exciting thing, it's kind of creating opportunities for others. And
just on that, you've got, I guess, some dual, I don't know what you call it, like dual competitors or something like that with the under 18s. And as you said, that's huge for you. But of the under 18s players that are coming out today, who excites you the most, and what do you expect to get out of them this season?
Yeah, I guess opportunity presented itself last week for Jackie Gribble.
Yeah.
We had Jazz Ashland play her first game as well, but Jackie played in the forward line and, created some havoc against South Belgrave. So she's playing again today. So I think on the fact that she's already played one of the three under-18s playing, she's the most experienced playing her second game. So, yeah, we're really excited by Jackie. But all the under-18 girls, they got low numbers in the 18s this season. So I think it's just another challenge for them, something to aspire to. And, we know they're talented, so more than happy to give them a run in the seniors when they're available and keen to do so.
How have you seen the opening 5 rounds of the season? Obviously, coming up, 2 years ago you played in Premier B and you had those crossover games, so you're not going in completely blind against some of these sides of the Devils and South Croydon and the benchmarks of Premier Division. But how have you seen the side stack up? It's been pretty competitive across the first 6 rounds of the season.
Yeah, we've really loved it. I mean, we saw what it looked like in Prem B, but, that was from a structural change to the divisions. But I feel like, there's a sense amongst the group that we've earned the right to be here this time around, which
Absolutely.
I think for us, brings with it some different pressures and I think different opportunities as well. So we do have a very different looking team to what we finished the year with last year through different reasons. But yeah, I think the first 2 rounds against Vermont and the Basin were very even matches, and we then kind of played Mount Evelyn, Whitehorse, and South Belgrave. The next 3, who are, I think, all really strong teams, and I think that step above where we want to get to through this season. So the standard is incredible. There's a lot of great footballers running around in this division, and it's exciting for us to be a part of it. Obviously, it's challenging, and it's a very different year to last year when we were having success most weeks. But I think we're fortunate to have a really good group that are pretty self-driven, and we've got some really strong leaders who can kind of find that balance between pushing ourselves really hard and finding those little challenges and making sure that there's a balance of fun and enjoying the experience as well.
One of those leaders, Bree Watson, I believe, is a milestone game this morning. What has she sort of meant to the club? Obviously now a premiership captain and a very important player to the side. Can you speak about her and just the legacy that she's got at Boronia so far?
Yeah, Bree's been huge for us. She actually celebrated her 50th game of football last year, but opted not to celebrate it because she wanted to wait until she celebrated her 50th Boronia game.
Brilliant.
So I think that just kind of talks to, the culture that she's driven amongst the group, and we're trying to get Bree on the Julia Baker pathway of stepping into a coaching role in the future. So, Bree's got great leadership, but on field she's like having an extra coach out there. She helps set things up and make sure everything's where we need to be.
And just on the reserve side as well, obviously they're playing the benchmark in Venturelli today, but having a look across the board in the first 5 rounds, their results have improved each year, and I know a couple of players, I think Paige Dean's backing up in both games, but that's got to be pleasing too to see, they've already got a win so far, been very competitive across the board, which has been an improvement year on, year out from a couple of years ago.
Absolutely. We've been really excited by the growth in our development team this year, and like any a reserve side in any football club across the country, there's a lot of challenges with player availability and things like that. But
injuries as well.
Injuries. But yeah, we've Candice and Jordan, our co-coaches, have done a phenomenal job of supporting the group. When it has been tough the last couple of years, and they've had some really competitive games this year, and I guess highlighting the growth in that team is Beck and Mel Carpenter, players who have played a lot of development football in the last couple of seasons. They've played a lot of senior footy this year. But, you mentioned Paige Dean. Dino is someone who's very young with a lot of talent, and, she has been playing some of the development games this year, and she thinks it helps her warm up and get going in the morning. But you can just see her confidence growing, and, it's great that there's so many clubs across the league with multiple teams now that it does create more development opportunities for players who, with clubs with only one team, probably just aren't getting an opportunity to play different roles and, have more responsibility and things like that.
Absolutely. And just quickly, having a look at Ali Gottliebs and Rachel Slater back in the side this week. So for you guys, it's a good time for us to come down and watch those two run out, because from the games that we've seen, just their, incredible players for the side, and not just the side, but the competition overall.
Yeah, you can probably see me smiling. It's exciting for us whenever we get them down to play, but obviously it is a double-edged sword because it means they're missing out at VFLW level, and both of them have had opportunity this year, and it's been amazing to see their growth. Our role is to support them become the best footballers they can, and they've both had huge development through Port Melbourne with Slater and Darebin with Ali. So when we do have them playing with us, the girls are really excited, and I know they're both really excited as well, because they don't want to lose that connection as much as it is with training times clashing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good to have them out there, and maybe the match of the round had something to do with it.
Indeed it is. Well, it is. Well, as we said, it's great to be here, and thanks for being such a great supporter of everything we do. Scott Nicholas, thanks so much for joining us, and all the best today, mate.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Scott Nicholas of Boronia there. He is a friend of the show, and he is just, as I said, just a great support for us here, and women's footy indeed, Ryan.
100%. You have a look, and over the last few years, what he's been able to achieve at the club, and he's a pretty humble guy, so he won't take much credit for it, but he's played a massive part in this women's program in developing to the way it is now, where you've got a side in Premier Division, you've got enough players at the club to make up 2 sides, which again, a few more clubs are starting to get on board North Ringwood this season, but you're still one of the 6 or 7 clubs that have the numbers at the program to be able to run 2 sides, and that shows anytime a club's got 2 sides running up, that shows that things are pretty good, and they're supporting the women's program as best they can.
Absolutely, and Scott is just an incredible character in terms of all the stuff that he does for, I suppose, the Paralympic side of things, and you know the para sports, and it's just incredible all the work he does. And I was fortunate enough to meet him, I don't know, about 6 or 7 years ago, and that's how and then I guess the relationship got better and better from there, and it's been just great to call his team. But of course there are 2 teams out there, Boronia and the Basin. This is on the Deakin University match of the round. The final siren sounds in the reserves game. Boronia Gold 117 defeated by Ferntree Gully 11-13-79. I might need actually the binoculars to look at the scoreboard, because sometimes my vision might be a little bit off.
No, you're right.
So,
You're spot on, mate.
that's right, because I pulled out the binoculars. Anyway, it is a little bit overcast here, but like you said, hopefully the rain stays away.
No, I think it will. And obviously today's game, as we said, we touched on Boronia just there, and we had Julia Baker on earlier, and they're looking like they're a little shorter on numbers this weekend. Baker not playing is a massive out.
Yep.
And they're just quite unlucky that this is the week that Boronia bring back both Rachel Slater and Ali Gottliebson, who I don't think either of them played last week. Maybe Slater potentially, but
Slater, I think it was.
Yeah, they
Ali,
look at full strength, except for the loss of Rachel Quirk. So they're going to be up against it. They played pretty well the last time they matched up against them out at Batterham Reserve. And I think the great thing about going to these games, as you said, it's a healthy rivalry, and they're always close. And we've seen both sides get on top of the other. And I always will go back to Danielle Brotto and the role that she's going to have to play today. She's going to have to kick 3 or 4 if they're to get the job done. And we were here, I think, in the corresponding game at Tormore Reserve last year when the 2 sides met.
Yes.
And it was a pretty low-scoring game from memory, and it was just the height that the Bears had that actually got on top.
It was a really hard-fought game to...
It was one of the
watch.
best games of last season.
Yes, indeed. Kate, usually we introduce you before you
Sorry.
before you jump in. Good morning to you.
Good morning,
as well.
gentlemen.
Thanks for joining us on the boundary. We got you to do a ground report a couple of weeks ago, so I mean you don't need to get down on hands and knees and stick a key in the turf, whatever. But how do you reckon the ground is going to play today?
It's firm, but a bit damp. Hopefully this fog lifts, and weather report is for mostly sunny, so no rain. Ryan?
You threw me off guard. I had my headset on. I was just making sure the audio was coming through because my headset wasn't hearing Jono. But absolutely, Kate, it's fantastic to have you down on ground level. 2 great sides, and we've seen them now, I think, for 4 times in the last 2 years, and every time it's been a good contest, and they've both gone both ways. We've seen both sides get on top of the other, and it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
I like the friendship that actually all of the teams have with each other. It's just really, really lovely to see. But the Basin and Boronia, there just seems to be something special about them when they get together. They're just really, really lovely.
And I know that Danielle Brotto, either she is or she was a Boronia netballer as well.
She is a Boronia netballer still.
She is still in the netball team, and obviously she did play for, I think it was Rowville in that premiership. So there is a lot of premiership experience from both teams, and a lot of senior experience to draw on, which is fantastic for both sides today, Ryan.
Yeah, 100%. And they've come up a division. We remember, obviously, we've talked about it already, that 2 years ago in those crossover games, the margins on when they played your top sides in Premier compared to now when they're playing in them. Obviously, last week was pretty harsh for the Bears against the Devils, but other than that, they've been a lot more competitive against those sides. So you can see their gap closing. And both clubs have built a strong program that once they get into the Premier Division, they're ready to stay. And both of them look pretty consolidated, their spot in the division so far, Jono.
I was going to say a moment ago as well, you mentioned Rachel Quirk. She unfortunately is out today because her basketball team, the Knox Raiders in the NBL 1, they'll be going out to Ballarat tonight to play against the team out there, and she was also NBL 1 South local legend as well. I wonder if the footy club decided to potentially slip her a fine her way.
Well, it's a big loss, but she's been arguably their best player this season.
She's been really handy, there's no doubt about it.
Always in the best. I was able to watch a bit of that game against Vermont in round 1 and just dominated in the ruck, and she always would give her midfielders first use of the footy. So they'll certainly miss that. They are lucky enough that they've been able to pick up well with the players around them. So we'll see how that sort of plays out this afternoon. But I tipped on the podcast that the Bears would get up without knowing who was coming back in the side for the Hawks. As Bree Watson comes out for her 50th game for the Boronia Football Club, and that's a fantastic to see. Premiership
nice
captain
banner break,
for the club. And great to see that as the Hawks come out onto the ground as well. But looking at the two sides, Jono, I mean, your tip for the game, do you have are you leaning towards one side or the other?
I'm leaning towards Boronia on this occasion. Again, a game like this, the result really comes towards the very end, and the result was somewhat known. But I think Boronia might have this done by about the premiership quarter. I just think, you know, the numbers for the Basin are definitely a factor, and it's great that they do have Steph Gottliebsen for the Basin in the seniors this week. She was initially listed to play reserves, and they just need that extra rotation.
Yeah,
sure.
they certainly do, because I think Boronia's got their full side in with a bench as well. So that's always
more,
good.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, that's always good to see for their sake. If they can stick with them, they've got to hit the scoreboard pretty early. We saw how dangerous Brotto was the last time these two sides met. As Julia said, they'll probably try and isolate her as best they can, but they do need some more contributors down there. Jamie Monk's had a fantastic start to the season as well for the Bears. She'll be quite important today. And then you've got a fair few players from that grand final side that have continued to improve. Caitlin Grimmett's one of those names. Brooke Priest. We'll certainly see how they match up. This will be probably their biggest test coming up against a Boronia side at full strength minus Quirk.
Obviously, when I went to do the team sheets this week, I forgot to put on my trophy markers, you know, because you've got all
the premiership players.
All the premiership players, but there are a few very important players out there. There's no doubt about it. And a name that intrigues me from the Basin side, which will be one to watch, is Crystal Van, who played for Whitehorse last year. She's got a very nice sleeve. It has to be said.
Yep.
You don't need to look very hard to find her around the ground. She brings a lot of run to this side, and it's great for the Bears to have her.
Yeah, certainly right. Did we see, Kate, who will be kicking to which end of the ground?
Did they have the coin toss yet?
I think they have. We may have missed that.
Sorry, I was a little distracted by the 50th banner run.
That's all good. Having a look at the moment, it looks like the Hawks will be kicking to the left side of your screen. Jono, what's last time you named the end of the ground, the right side? What did you call that end?
So this side here?
Yes. Have you? I'm just testing to see if you've picked up on your roads. What end of the ground is that this week?
I actually don't know, but there was one time where I actually did call a match of the round, and I was like, they'll be kicking to the forest end. But unfortunately, both ends of the ground do have plenty of greenery on either side. But we'll go up here and get ready to go. Basin first hands to it. Grimmett gets involved. Now here is Monk, I think it is. They are kicking to the right end. Miller played and missed
Boronia
it.
right end.
Boronia right.
Just
right.
wanted you to...
There you go. And I was going to introduce you as well by saying that you are 256 Scoresby Road, Boronia's finest. To note my brackets, but we've got another pull up here again, and things are looking very excited early. So Monk in the ruck there, taps it down to Grimmett, did well. Now it's coming back towards the Boronia end, but only just. Great pick up there from, I think it might have been Step Gottliebsen, but it's going to find touch. And Boronia will bring it in through Joan Decker.
We'll get a ball up
ball
here.
Up.
Oh,
And
was it? Okay.
Basin's end of the ground at the moment. Tapped down by Monk. McDowell. And she's well tackled there. And we'll get another ball up. Just a minute into this game. Match of the round. Thanks for joining us, Deakin University. Tap down here by the Hawks. Salanti at ground level. No one's able to get a clear possession, and we'll do it all again with another ball up. Fourth time we've seen the two sides meet for a match of the round in the last couple of years. They played off in 3 finals, including 1 grand final in the last few seasons. There's a holding the ball call here. We'll go in favour of the Hawks, who have their chance to go forward, looking for Godleapson. Got Priest to beat here. Priest has done quite well. Slater picks up here for the Hawks. She's caught, and we'll get another ball up. Tackled by Godleapson on Grimmett. Just a couple of minutes into this first term.
So both sides just need to make their use of space and try to break out the back. The Basin might do that through Priest, but she can't pick it up, so it was in the hands of Burkett. Heads in the Dean direction. Picking up the ball now is Carpenter, but she had to leave it behind. Gibson got involved there. Now they head towards, rather they're still in the centre of the ground, and a free kick has been paid to Boronia. The ball's got to come back. And it's Delta Greenock. To coin a phrase from another Delta we know, she was probably sitting on top of the world last year after she won the premiership. She sends it inside, forward 50. And a defensive mark is taken.
By Monk.
Thank you. We'll do the calling. Here's Greenalge again. There was Collins. Now chasing it here is Watson. It's a hard-fought game. It's like watching it over the hill at the moment. And the umpire to ball it up on the outer side. Good luck with this one.
Yeah, that's right. It seems to be every time we're out here for a game at Tormore, most of the plays on that far side. As Basin looked to go forward, the kick was smothered. Again, they go forward. The one-on-one with Brotto and Cahill. Cahill picks it up nicely. Got her handball away before being tackled. That's Decker. This time caught by 3 Bears. Just gets her hands away. Brotto's out at the back. Can't quite control it. Could be almost able to give away a free kick. Passed it off there to a teammate in Hubbard. And well tackled by the Hawks, and they'll earn themselves a free kick. They would have been worried there with the one-on-one, but Cahill did very well. The kick out, looking for Slater, who takes the mark. Out at half-back on the far side here at Tormore Reserve. Kicking towards the middle of the ground. Just overdid it for McNamara, who I believe played at Furniture Gully a couple of years ago. The Basin to earn themselves a free kick here through Kimpton. So Kimpton for the Bears to send them forward again. We've got no score so far in the first 5 minutes of this first term of the match of the round. And a intercept mark here for the Hawks through Poe, whose first game here in the senior side, coming up from the under-18s. As the ball works its way towards the boundary line, it looks like this will be a free kick going one way in favour of the Hawks on that far side.
When I called Collins earlier, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Looking for Decker. She takes the mark and goes towards the middle of the ground through the hands of Monk for the Bears. Picked up by Godleapson. She's tackled by 2 Basin defenders, and we'll get a ball up back in the middle of the ground. 6 minutes gone. No score for either side just yet.
So umpire Maddie Wright gets things restarted here in the centre of the ground. Greenalge is at the fall of it. And the umpire calls holding. So a free kick to Delta. Players present on the commentary side wing. It was going in the direction of Gottliebsen. She couldn't take the mark. Now it comes to the edge of the square. They do well to get it out the back here. Here's Greenalge again. Goes with a grubber along the ground. Still anyone's ball here. They've got to move it by foot. I think that was Grimmett. And here's Greenalge again. She's just following the ball wherever it is at this stage, Ryan.
She's had a strong start to the season, Jono, as we get a ball up through the middle. Monk got the hit out. Got leaps and tries to charge her way through, but she's caught for holding the ball here. The free kick going towards Grimmett for the Bears. Out at centre half back. Grimmett will switch it to that far side again. Got a player out all by herself there in, I believe that was McDowell. She's done well here to send a long kick towards centre half forward. Punch from behind by Decker. Bro tried to get a kick away and not quite holding the ball. So a free kick here for the Hawks at centre half back. Still yet to score either side, and that kicks a turnover. This is a big chance now for the Bears. Kick towards the top of the square, or actually in the forward pocket there, will bounce out of bounds. So Emily Kay will take this kick for the Hawks out at the back pocket.
So Charity Poe's got a bit of involvement in the game earlier, and a big hello to AFL Samoa if you're watching this game. A great supporter of all the Samoans involved in the game of Australian rules football. None more so than, of course, my Kelty Lafau, who's an absolute star at Richmond at the moment. So Boronia on the outer side have got to try and move it through. Delta Greenell gets involved again. They can move it. And here's Rachel Slater, our first look at her today. She loads up with a big kick in the centre of the ground. In fact, it's coming towards broadcast side. They can make use of the open space. One-on-one chasing the footy. They're going to pick it up through Burkett. Burkett had it and then lost it. Got it off to a teammate who was immediately wrapped up. And umpire Wright charges in and says, I'll have it. She was part of the women's 11 in Ringwood's team of the last 50 years. Congratulations, of course. It's probably the first time we've mentioned that. I've been wanting to mention that all year, Ryan.
Have you?
Yes, indeed. Okay. If I was on Female Footy Focus, I would have certainly mentioned it. But we'll go up in there. I guess she's probably also a friend of the show as well. Even though she probably hasn't been on, but probably should. So there's the invitation.
Look at this. We're always well looked after here.
We are indeed.
Free burgers.
So it goes inside 50 for Boronia, but only temporarily. The Bears can move it back out. It does go to open space. And now here's the best chance. Oh, no. It turns into a one-on-one contest. Armstrong getting involved there. Still on the ground. Chance for Armstrong again. Kimpton got the ball, got immediately tackled. No one to help her in this case. We'll go for a ball up on True Centre Wing broadcast side.
Yes, no score yet. Greenhelg, the clearance, got a bit of space and finds a
Crystal Van's into the game. Here we go.
Kufel now. Look at the speed that she's got. She'll send this inside 50. She's run too far. Just went a few steps too many, and it'll come back here. And the Bears will take this, and I think Dalton will take the kick. Actually, instead, it'll go to Swan. Nicole Swan in the middle of the ground. Has got a player running past. Couldn't quite nail the handball, and it's a turnover through the hands of Kufel, who's wrapped up and will get a ball up in the middle of the ground again. Still no score. 10.5 minutes to go in this first term for the match of the round. Thanks for joining us, Facebook and YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from. There's a kick out here as a turnover falls into the hands of the Basin, who through Priest will go towards the broadcast wing. Bouncing over the top of a teammate there in Kimpton. Out the back, Boronia get a kick forward off the ground. This one just running out of bounds, but nothing was called at first. We'll get a ball up right in front of us here, centre wing. Thanks for joining us for the match of the round. As we said, the fourth time these two sides have met in a match of the round in the last couple of seasons. A great rivalry between the two clubs. Priest gets her kick away, bouncing towards the boundary line again. If they can be kept in here almost by Van, but couldn't quite. And this will be a ball up.
As I said earlier, she does bring a lot of run into the side, Crystal Van, which is just fantastic for them. Rocks tapped it in the direction of Kimpton, but the Basin have got to work hard here. There's a fair pack of players. Grimmett tried to kick forward, so it's a one-on-one. Best chance here. The kick goes forward for Hubba, and she's just missed to the right. So the first score of the day. 9 minutes to go here in the first term. Basin one behind. Or at least I think it is. There you go. There's the Fire scoreboard. Best scoreboard in the eastern suburbs,
Yeah,
right?
it's got to be one of them as this kick out finds Slater. Strong hands out at half back for the Hawks. Her kick down the line. Kufel at the back might be able to run onto this. Boundary line will beat her, so we'll get a ball up on that far side. But I think the last time we were here was very low scoring as well. It's always a tight contest. I'm sure the game will open up at some stage, but
it's going to take a lot to break away from either side.
A lot of pressure from both teams. They did score quite heavily the last time these two sides met in a close game again earlier this season. Here's got Leapson, bumped off the ball. We get another stoppage on that far side with 8 minutes to play in this first term out at Tormore Reserve. Ball up, one the tap out here the Bears did. Kimpton picks it up and she's tackled. Cut off here by the Hawks now. Again, Slater running through there, trying to take control of the game. Dalton gets her kick away. Bouncing footy, looking here for Van. Picked it up and was caught straight away. Just got her kick. Here's Priest. The handball out to Van as their kick was smothered. And this ball still not going anywhere. Just got it out before the umpire blew his whistle. And now he has, so we'll get a ball up, centre half forward here for the Bears. They lead by a point, the only score of the game so far. With
Van's
7.5
looking
minutes to play.
dangerous. She'll might have the chance to rove this. And sorry for cutting you short there, Ryan. As Boronia come to centre wing. In fact, they're still pretty much in the centre of the ground, just on the edge of the square. Picking up the ball really well there was McDowell. Tried to send it inside. It was a short kick. Landed in the hands of Grimmett. Sorry, it wasn't. It was Swan. Swan goes with a wobbler inside. Kufel gained possession and then was tackled. And then there was Slater, who was also tackled. And the umpire to call for it. We'll have a ball up inside the Basin 50. Slater tried to break free off hands. Lots of players on hands and knees at the moment. Lucy Kimpton trying to get involved as well as Lambro. Go up again. Here's a chance for the Basin. Off hands again. Watson getting involved. And there's a whistle for the umpire to bring it back. We'll go at it again. Best chance here for the Basin, Ryan.
Yeah, certainly right. With 6 minutes to play in this first quarter, they've been able to lock this inside forward 50 for the last minute. Valenti gets a kick towards the boundary line. Bouncing footy. Might just fall into the hands there of Lambro, but the umpire will call this for a ball up. On that far side of the ground. The tap down by the Bears. That kick towards goal, bouncing. It's not going to quite make it. Kept in here by Cahill. Tapped it forward to a teammate there in Burkett. She's got a bit of space and time here. The kick is a bouncing footy that's cut off by Priest. He's been pretty solid in this first term. And in comes Van to help her out, and we'll get another ball up.
And now it's time to go to our YouTube live chat and make a special shout out to Mark Sherry, a former Blackburn and Bayswater player. It was 1978 to 87 who's watching our broadcast today.
Fantastic.
So thanks for joining us, Mark.
Great
Appreciate your company.
There's this kick here. Is cut off by Greenhalgh, who's also been pretty dominant in this first term. She's had a great start to the season as well, coming to the Hawks last year. This kick now, it's cut off by the Bears, who their pressure has been fantastic. Pressure's been good from both sides. It's been part of the reason why it has been a low-scoring first quarter. Just the one behind to the Basin. Boronia yet to score. 4.5 minutes to play, Jono, in this first term for the Deakin University match of the round.
On the opposite junction, umpire throws it up. And here's the forward kick for the Basin. A one-on-one contest will beat both of them and go through for a minor score. So it's Basin, 2 behinds. As soon as it shows up on the Big Fire scoreboard, there it is, bang! 4 and 16 to go here in the first term on the Deakin University match of the round. I'm not going to do this the whole time, Ryan.
It is a great scoreboard.
I promise you I won't do it.
So this kick out here by Cahill towards us on the broadcast side. About at half back here for the Hawks. Almost tapped forward here, picked up by Van. That was pretty impressive. Her kick, though, a bit of a dribbler towards the boundary line. Dangerous spot here for Brotto. Snap around the corner as a behind. And that's their third for the morning. 3 behinds to the Hawks yet to score with 3.5 minutes to go in this first term.
I suppose if there was anyone who could do it, it would be Danielle Brotto from there for sure.
Oh, she's very dangerous in that spot. But you've got to be pretty impressed from a Bears perspective, and if you're Julia Baker here in this first term.
So the kick comes out in the Slater or Dean direction. The aforementioned will take the mark. Absolute superstar in her own right. Comes in the direction of Burkett, who might come behind. Also there is Parrott. Can't take the mark on this occasion. Lots of players on hands and knees trying to pick this one up. It won't eventuate to any clear possession, as buried underneath that was Jessica McDowell. Umpire right comes to ball the footy up. Fell off the knee of Lucy Kimpton. And the ball went to ground as Delta tried to hack that one out, and it just wasn't to be. Wright said, I'll have it instead. The kick goes forward for Boronia in the Slater direction, but instead it was Jessica McDowell to pick the ball up and send it forward. And then, of course, it was a chance for Ebony Miller to get the footy, but she sent it into touch, so a ball up in shoes. Second season at Boronia for Miller, of course. Ball sits perfectly for Greenhalgh, but she's knocked off it. Very clever work there from Dalton. She's one to watch. We've got another ball up as Parrott will sit on this one. And the umpire to do the honours here.
Yes, less than 2 minutes, as you just said, as Greenhalgh almost caught high by Kimpton, but the umpire says, give it to me, and we'll ball it up all again. Plenty of stoppages in this first term. The hit down got it to Burkett. The handball back to Miller. She'll look for Slater. It's a one-on-one. She keeps it in front of her. Is able to pick it up nicely and gets past her opponent. And the kick's almost perfect. Just fell through the hands of Salanti. He's got 2 Bears to beat here. Right in front of us as Priest is the first to get the ball, but she's wrapped up, and we'll get another ball up. 1:15 left. Is there time for a goal for either side? Monk's tap down to Kimpton. I believe that's Hub, actually. Got a handball off to Priest. Small kick forward. Now to gain some territory here. It's cut off by Miller. Tapped it in front of her. Kufel's there for the Hawks. Grimmett, the handball for the Bears. Tapped it forward through Van, who's had a strong start to this game. It's a dangerous spot here. Picked up there by Poe. It's a free kick here towards the Bears. Brotto. She'll move it quickly, but it looks like there's a 25-metre penalty.
It's either that, it's probably a downfield, actually.
Yeah, downfield penalty. So Brotto will take the kick, and she's rushing to do it. She'll play on straight away, and it's going to come back. She's well and truly in range. There's 27 seconds left on the clock. She puts it towards the top of the goal square. Is there Mark out the back? Kimpton, first goal of the game, bouncing through for a behind. And that is their 4th of the morning. 4 behinds to the Hawks yet to score with 10 seconds left in this first quarter. So unless there's a turnover here from Cahill, that will be it for the first term.
So the siren will sound. That'll do us for the first term here. The Basin Red 4 behinds. Boronia yet to score. Coaches' messages still to come. We will have a chat with both coaches, I think, but we'll be back with the second term right after this. Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round here at Tormore Reserve. It is Boronia and the Basin going head-to-head in the Premier Division. Of course, two of the best sides from last year's Division One have both graduated to the top level. And they're playing each other here in what might be our fourth match of the round. Covering these two teams, the score, of course, Basin 4 behinds, leading Boronia yet to score. We can go around the grounds as well, and in Division 3, South Croydon have defeated Mooralbark 1-4-10 in what might just be the upset of the season. A fantastic start to the year for the Mustangs, and they've been defeated at the hands of the Dogs. Final charges happening at the moment for both teams. And Kate Green will chat to both coaches as we're set to get underway very soon. Score, of course, if you just joined us once more, the Basin 4 behinds and Boronia yet to score. Of course, any other live score around the grounds you want to tell us about, then please do send them through. Try and get a score out in the Eastern Devils game, I think, but some games to watch, of course, in Premier Division. Mount Evelyn do play Vermont out at Mount Evelyn Recreation Reserve. Of course, there is this game, and South Croydon take on Whitehorse as well. And a score from that one we might have indeed. Quarter time, Whitehorse 1 straight 6 lead trail South Croydon to 1-13. Let's go to the boundary with Kate Green.
I have assistant coach here, Matt Bailey, for the Basin. Must be pretty happy with how the girls have settled in to the first quarter. What's going for the next quarter?
Yeah, look, really pleased with that, actually. Obviously a little undermanned to start the game with, obviously, without Bakes in the middle there. Really happy to get the ball going our way. I had a few points down there about using that wide option. Yeah, we'd love to continue to do that from those centre breaks in the second quarter and probably throughout the game. We feel like we've always utilised the space on these wings to our advantage and used them really well. So if we can continue to do that, get the ball in the hands of, Chook and Holly out on those wings, yeah, we'd be really stoked to be able to keep doing that. Created a lot of opportunities up there forward as well. We just need to capitalise on them a little bit more as the game goes on. Would be great.
Thank you.
So special thanks to Matt Bailey there. We might hear from Scott Nicholas in a second. We'll go up in the second term. Ryan Long, why don't you kick us all up?
Thanks, Jono. As we're back in the middle again, Hawks looking to get the first clearance. It's here, come out through Monk actually for the Bears. High kick up and unders, marked here by Rachel Slater in the middle of the ground. She'll send the Hawks forward. She'll go sideways here to Gottliebson, back in the side this week. Able to pick it up nicely off the bounce. Got some players around her. Takes her time towards kick towards Slater back in the middle of the ground. Big tackle there on her Basin opponent. Comes out through Kimpton. Her handball cut off by McNamara, and we'll get that ball up. She's obviously got a big role this afternoon up against Jamie Monk. No Rachel Quirk in the side.
Well, let's go down to the boundary with Kate Green. She's got Scott Nicholas.
Scott, first quarter thoughts, and what's the message going into second quarter?
I think we're just a bit chaotic. We're probably a bit frantic when we do get our hands on the ball, and we're probably just, our heads are on a swivel a bit around stoppages and things like that. So Jamie's obviously doing a great job giving them first use. We've just got to kind of find a bit more calm and set ourselves up a bit better, and I think we'll be okay.
Thanks very much.
Apologies, Kate. I can't hear anything through my headset, so I don't know when you're crossing down. So I'll let Jono cross down to you each time. I can't hear that for some reason, but that's okay. Back in play here for the Bears. They're in their forward half, which they've probably spent majority of the game up forward in the opening quarter and a bit. The ball up here, quick clearance forward, and that ball almost kept in by Brotto. We'll get a ball up here. Dangerous spot for the Bears.
It is indeed. Umpire Wright calls for the rucks. Dalton slapped it down. Chance for Grimmett, I think it is. She's wrapped up by Slater. Got to give it back. We'll do it again. Getting the tap down this time is Barban or Lambrou. Another one. Chance here for the Basin. High up and under, but a short kick. And it goes over the boundary line. In the pocket. Another ball up.
Yeah, that's right. But Bears look like they're very close to kicking a goal here. They've been pushing for the last 5 minutes of this quarter, obviously, and then last half of the first term as a free kick here has been awarded to Boronia. They look to play on straight away, looking for Slater. Bumps her opponent off. Able to pick it up nicely. Clearance out of their back half. It's punched from behind there from the Bears, who will look to just lock this in their forward half. They've been the better side, I would say, in the first 25 minutes of this game.
I can hear a lot of barking around the place, Ryan, but it's good to see that your dog is rather obedient. The
Yes, my dog's here today.
Off.
Just having a nap as Kimpton gets her
It's
kick forward
adorable.
inside 50. Got Leapson. We'll get a ball up. There's my Labrador here. Just laying down. Very placid dog. Bobby is.
Very, very obedient.
As the ball comes out, Kimpton versus Gob Leapson. In towards a dangerous spot. Here's Brotto, bouncing footy if she can control it. Did work out okay because got it to a teammate with the soccer forward. They link up into a bit of space here. The Hawks have just done well defensively. That kick might come back because Brooke Priest has got some time to run onto this one. Went without it. Page then comes in here for the Hawks. It's cut off by Dalton. Her kick forward might not be 15. It's not marked anyway, so it doesn't matter. As Burkett's tackled. Slater comes in and she cops one high and she'll earn herself a free kick at the half back line for the Hawks.
So Rachel Slater started a career all the way in the, I like to call it the prestigious 9As, but in junior terms, it's not exactly. She did play under 9s footy for St. Simon's all those years ago. And now she's playing state league footy, which is just huge. As I say that, we've got a ball up here very close to the junction on broadcast side. Monk got the tap down in the direction of Swan. Clears for Boronia. Delta Greenholds is chasing, but also as Weldon. Here's a chance for Parrott. Sent a big, big kick. Gonna try and get it off the ground here. Somebody. That's Talbot getting involved. Players hit the deck. Of course, is Gribble. We get a look at today. Definitely a talking point early on in pre-game. That was Talbot. She got the tap down, but to no avail. And another ball up is imminent. And so it is. Monk, oh no, sorry, that was Swan, almost snatched it out of the ruck. There is a free kick though. To Rachel Slater. Not sure what it was for. The umpire just blew his whistle and pointed. So Slater can snatch the lead back for the home side. Always a measured approach and a proven goal kicker as well. 157 goals to her name, and that's goal 158. Boronia 1 straight 6. The Basin 4 behinds, 13 and 30 to go here in the second term. Ryan Long.
Oh, absolutely. It's taken the star of the side to step up for the Hawks to get them on the board, and she's been very important, especially in this early stages of the second quarter, just to keep them alive defensively. Won herself a very important free kick at the half-back line and then slots the set shot goal. So back in control, the Hawks. But other than that, it's probably one against the flow of momentum with the Bears probably controlling most of it. Again, here's Dalton for the clearance for the Bears. in the direction of Brotto. Not Brotto, actually. And that's, I believe, Gottliebsen, who's able to take the mark. And she plays on straight away. Try to get it off to Lambro. Coming out here, Semagus will get a ball up inside 50 for the Bears. So in terms of territory, they've probably owned most of the game so far, but just haven't been able to capitalise in front of goal. So very important couple of minutes here if they can get one back.
And both teams are actually quite good at moving the ball from end to end. They just need to use it when they get inside 50 and convert. But
correct.
Obviously, both teams haven't quite been able to do that so far.
Tough ground to score on as well out here, Tormore Reserve. Very big ground as this one comes out through Collins. I believe that might be a free kick here coming towards the Basin. It is, so a handy one.
Charity
as the
Poe,
Hawks look to
actually.
be out.
Not Collins, Charity
Poe, apologies, as that kick finds a target there in Weldon, right in front of us. Centre wing. Waits for an opportunity to present itself. Kick towards a big pack of players, and in the front and centre is Ali Gottliebsen, who picks up nicely, looking for Slater.
Brilliant.
Strong hands. Hasn't she been good this quarter? Rachel Slater now.
But the two superstars from the VFL combining.
Absolutely. She goes inside 50, a great kick. It's cut off here by the Bears. Important defending for them. Slater might still end up with it if she can get there, but she had Swan and a boundary line to beat, so boundary line beats all, and we'll get a boundary throw-in, or a ball up here, right in front of the Bears box.
Umpire lobs it forward. It wasn't necessarily a ball up. And we'll go at it again. Let's go at it. Monk, get the tap down. It's a good one in the direction of Hubba. Van might get involved here. No, instead it's Charity Poe. Sees it over the line. Another ball up in shoes right in front of the interchange gates here. Or at least the interchange gates that are marked. Right here at Tormore Reserve. The sun's peeked out, which is great to see. So sunshine greets the eastern suburbs for the remainder of the day, which is just fantastic. Getting the kick forward in Boronia's direction was Miller, but the Hawks, they've got a bit of work to do here. Greenhalgh bursts out of the pack, bouncing footy. The Basin try to put on the defensive effort through Talbot. Ball hits the deck. And we'll go for another ball up. So it's down Boronia's end. Greenhalgh just lurking. Gottliebsen takes it herself. Can't get the kick away. Off hands. Dean. In the hands of the Basin, though. And Grimmett was wrapped up at the end of it.
Ball up inside 50 here for the Hawks. Just starting to get in control of this contest. Another stoppage here. As I said, it's been the Stars that have stood up.
So the way they
Slater,
entered inside 50 for Boronia was fantastic, and well, it looks like they're going out again.
Well, they're going to clear it out, but it might come back. The kick should be cut off. It actually falls out the back. Van slipped over, did enough to be able to pick it up. Caught by Kufel, got a kick away just in time.
Nicely
Towards the
done.
middle of the ground. Here's Watson, the captain. Milestone game. Got her hands out. Priest got the kick forward for the Bears. Here's Brotto out the back. Got Kayla to beat.
Oh,
goes
around,
around, just gets her handball. She might be able to pick it up herself. A teammate here in Hubbard to help her out, but they've got 3 Hawks to beat. And we'll get a stoppage and ball up. They look dangerous when they get out the back there, Brotto, but didn't have a whole lot of work, a lot of teammates there to work with. As Greenhalgh finds some space and kicks it down the line, and it's cut off here from the Bears, and they're just holding up okay, but Hawks starting to get a bit more control.
So the Basin send it back towards their end, and Greenhalgh is there, but also getting at the footy actually was Jessica Hubber. Might be able to chase it and get another round of leather poisoning again. Grimmett had it and then lost it. Greenhalgh kicks forward, Can't quite find a teammate. It was in the direction of Dean. Still in the centre of the ground. Players on their knees. Umpire comes to the rescue and says, my ball. Let's go. And the wind is also starting to pick up as well. Fingers crossed I don't lose me team sheets. Inside Basin 50 just. One-on-one contest, spot fires everywhere. No one can quite get clear possession. Down on the ground, I think that was Kufel wrapped up underneath all that.
The Bears would want the next one. 4 behinds to 1 straight 6. The Hawks lead by 2 points. 7 minutes to go in this second quarter. The kick out for the Hawks is cut off by Dalton. He'll send the Bears into attack again. There's a large pack of numbers there. Standing underneath it, Slater. Out the back was Kale. He's done a pretty good job on Brotto so far. That kicks falls into the hands of Grimmett for the Bears. And again, they'll go inside 50. I'd like to know the inside 50 stats. I think the Basin will have that quite comfortably with a bit of a lead.
Boundary.
Kick towards big pack of plays. Strong hands. And guess who it is? It's Rachel Slater in the middle of that pack, who's been a class above.
Let's go down to the boundary with Kate Green.
Inside 50s for Basin, 15 to 4 for Boronia.
We've got some stats as well. That is huge. And dominating the stats and dominating that inside 50 stat as well.
Because I can't hear the
that would be
boundary
15 to 4 in favour.
4.
That's amazing. Thank you, Kate.
And yet they trail by 2 points.
So umpire throws the ball up directly in front of us. This time it's Joan Decker to get the tap down. She collected her own footy and then lost it. There was a chance there for McLennan. She's got a basketball background. That's one to watch as well.
First season at the club, John.
She kicked forward and it is her first season at the club. A total of 498 points recorded in basketball, and she's also a ref. I knew I'd get that reference in. Proud to be working. Yeah, that's a lot of points. It's basically the Matthew Richardson equivalent of basketball, one would think.
Well, she's a Richmond supporter too.
Well, isn't that brilliant? Probably follows the example of the great man. So up we go on the outer side. Back to the footy now. Decker tries to get involved, and well, she has to leave it behind as there's many players in and around it, like Swan, who's been fantastic around the ground so far. Grimmett, umpire,
caught high.
Has called a high free kick. I'm not sure who it's. I'm not sure who. I think it was a Basin free kick. He just didn't quite signal.
I think so. I don't know if it was the other umpire that did, but definitely a high free kick and no advantage.
I'm confident to say that Maddie has an Acme Thunderer, so it probably wasn't her who called it. Down the line, Swan picks it up and goes bang inside 50. Great defensive work there from McNamara to just stop the flow for the time being. Boronia, of course, they do have the lead, 6-4, 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the second term. The Basin to try and come in again. They'll only go as far as half forward. At least I think it is. That's great work there from the Bears, but they can only inch so far. So Boronia's actually done well with the defensive efforts to try and just stop the flow a bit.
They've just been able to make it quite congested. They haven't had any space, really. Brotto's had maybe a couple of opportunities, but Kale's done a pretty good job locking her down so far. As the ball comes out here to Slater, shrugs off an opponent and kicks it forward. The teammate there standing in front, couldn't quite mark it. And underneath there was McDowell, who cleaned up the mess and got it off to a teammate on that far side. Might be Jamie Monk. Quite hard to see from here on that far wing, but she'll send it inside 50 again. Just a pack of players go up for it. No one can take the mark this time. And this is where they've probably just struggled to find a target inside 50 and then convert from it, as a player's wrapped up and holding the ball free kick going the way of the Hawks.
So that was Smart who tried to break the tackle there, and she was unsuccessful. And deservedly pinged for holding the ball. Here's Dalton. Intercepted it. Salante picks up the footy. Sends it back in the direction of Delta Greenalg, who takes the mark over the hill. Time and space. She elects to go to the centre of the ground in the direction of Watson, who does take the mark. Got a bit of help around the back, but she decides to do it all herself. Sends the kick across to Cahill. She doesn't take the mark, so she has to chase it. She's chased by Van, and look at that. She wins the gold medal. Van just couldn't quite catch her. Great tackle laid there by Hubber. As Boronia inch ever so closely to goal. But the Basin are well and truly red hot in the pressure. Slater weaves in and out and goes inside 50. A lot of great skill on show today. But the Basin will try and move it around, and they go to open space. It looks to find touch. Presume it will, but chasing it there is Carpenter, who doesn't see it over, and play continues.
Impressive there from Cahill. And Slater as well up forward. Minute and a half left in this second term. 1 straight 6 the Hawks, 4 behind the Basin. Not much in it. There isn't never much in it when these two sides play as the Hawks go forward again. Well defended there by the Bears as this ball just able to keep inside the line. The turnover here, Salante on that far side. We'll see it go out and we'll get a ball up, I think, on that far wing. It looks like with 46 seconds to play in this second term, potentially a late chance at goal.
Around the grounds as well at quarter time. Eastern Devils 8, Croydon North Mlock 2. And Ryan, you wouldn't have heard this, but South Croydon have caused probably the biggest upset of the year. They have beaten the Mustangs.
They've beaten the Mustangs?
They've beaten them.
Wow.
It is unreal.
That's a massive win.
So we turn for the halftime break then. 12, 11, 10 seconds on the Elite Fire scoreboard. And there is actually an Elite Fire and a brazier going on behind us. It's warmed everyone up in the pre-game as well.
Yes, I'm getting burnt out of here.
It does feel that way indeed, but the halftime siren sounds here at Tormore Reserve. Boronia lead by only 2, 1 straight 6 to 4 behinds. The one goal kicker, of course, was Rachel Slater. We'll be back with the second half of the Deakin University match of the round right after this.
Okay, Boronia have had it in there 57 times, and the Basin have had it in there 18.
Oh, wow. Because when you were saying the stats, I'm like, I can't hear. What's this? That's awesome. I was going to say that. Is that the only one?
That's for the game to half time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Because I'm.
Yeah.
Well.
No, it's fine. It's hard to take.
No, well, on goal, there's every time they've been on goal, it's either gone through. Like the Basin's had 5, 4 of which have been behinds, and Boronia's just had the one.
Did you want anything to eat, by the way? We've got a card for you.
Oh, okay. Probably our snacks.
Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round. Boronia versus the Basin out at Tormore Reserve, and at halftime it is the Hawks. 1 straight 6, leading the Bears 4 behinds. Ryan Long and John O'Van, who's currently scoffing down a free burger from the club, as they always look after us down here. As we'll go down to the boundary because Kate Green does have Scott Nicholas with her.
Scott, you're going to be happy having that goal on the board in the second quarter. What's the game plan for the third quarter?
More goals, I think, is the game plan. But no, I think it starts with where we're getting the ball to. I think we get stuck kicking it up the line at times, and if you got Jamie Monk sitting in the hole, it makes it pretty hard for us to get good scoring opportunities. So I think just a bit smarter when we're coming out of the back line. There's a lot of space here at Tormore, so we'll try and use a bit more of it this quarter.
Thanks very much, Scott. All the best.
Thanks there to Kate with Scott Nicholas on the boundary as the umpire holds the ball up for the third quarter here, the Deakin University match of the round. 2-point lead to the Hawks. Grimmett almost caught one high. They get it going forward again. They've dominated the inside 50s in the first half. It's cut off here by the Hawks through Lucy McLennan. Got a handball forward. Now they've got a bit of space inside, looking for a target there in Dean, but it's cut off by the Bears. I believe that was Gibson, who's had a couple of intercept marks already, and this a turnover here into the hands of Kufel for the Hawks. She'll go forward, might just fall into the hands back of Gibson again. Takes on an opponent, and the kick down the line. It's a one-on-one. Who can get there first? It's the Hawks. Couldn't quite pick it up, Solanti, so the Bears will capitalise on it. The kick cut off by Godleapson. A handball back. Chance now for the Bears through Van. She can pick this one, tries to tap it forward. She had a very lively first term, had plenty of impact, but again, it's just been that.
Let's go down to the boundary with Kate Green. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, you just need to turn this way a bit, Matt. Just here with Matt Bailey for Basin. Very physical first half. What's the message for the girls this quarter?
Yeah, look, it has been a really physical half of football, and we've been really impressed with the pressure acts at the moment. So that's what we've gone with for this second half, is just making sure we keep those pressure acts up, making sure we get those effective tackles, not just useless tackles, spoils, and just pressuring that football in general. I think is going to hopefully break this game open in the second half for us.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Thanks there to Kate Green. Apologies to Kate, I'm not ignoring her. I just can't hear her through my headset. As the ball inside 50 now for the Hawks. There's a bit of a scrap. We'll get another ball up.
And let me extend my welcome back, folks.
Welcome back, Jono. He just finished his burger. Any good?
Yes, and special thanks to the Boronia Football Club for taking care of us. I'll tell you who's taking care of this one. Delta Greenhalgh, it bounces all the way. Can it? Not quite. Just to the goal line, it's intercepted by the Bears. They can come back towards commentary position. Great tackle there laid by Burkett. Getting involved now is Priest. Hands off. Slater intercepts around the body, high up and under. Chance here for Dean around the body, not quite. And so Gibson gives chase as well. Over the hill now, across the field. Umpire awards a free kick to Charity Poe. Who sent it inside 50, we believe. And the Basin try and send it back from whence it came. Poe gets involved again. Hands up. Just trying to find a way out, but the umpire did pay a free kick going the way of the Basin. So it's Lucy Kimpton to do the honours here from half back. Sent it down the line. He's falling at the ball everywhere. Kufel gets involved, but the Basin just claw their way forward, if not for a couple of Boronia defenders who are fantastic at cutting that off. And they're going to need to do that if they are to win this game. Paige Dean was infringed with a marking infringement to be exact, and she can go inside 50.
There's a long way out. It's a good-looking kick towards a pack of players. Slater's in the middle of it. It's probably the person you want to target. But no mark this time, so inside 50 for the Hawks, their best chance of the quarter. They lead by 2 points. They only had the one scoring shot compared to the 4 of the Bears, but it was a perfect kick from Slater in that second term that got him in front. This one comes out. Bears got a lot of numbers around the contest. But we're going to get another stoppage here. Another ball up 5 minutes into this third term. Thanks for joining us, whether that's Facebook or YouTube. Let us know where you're tuning in from this morning. Big day out here at Tormore Reserve. Both clubs, the Boronia and the Basin, set to go head in the men's later this afternoon.
Let's go around the grounds briefly. Whitehorse taking on South Croydon, and South Croydon lead by a point, 2-3-15 to Whitehorse, the home side, 2-2-14.
Another close game out there, but we've got a chance here for the Hawks. There was a hold on the ball tackle, and it's Rachel Slater who
already
is
has
well
one.
And truly in her range to kick this. And she just calmly walks back to line up for the Hawks' second. She's probably about 35, 40 metres out from home. She comes in, looking for the second. It's a good-looking kick. It's going to carry the distance, but it just misses. It hits the post. So the Hawks' second score of the game. They lead 1-1-7 to the Bears' 4 behinds, with 14 and a half minutes to go in this third term. But they're looking dangerous now.
I think in Premier Division especially, this is a great opportunity for someone like Rachel Slater. Of course, we looked at the likes of Chloe Hunt from the Eastern Devils last season. She's absolutely killing it up forward at the Southern Saints. And opportunities like these to score goals and be that power forward that Boronia needs is just absolutely huge for her and her development. I'd expect big things to come from her in the next couple of years. Doesn't matter where she's playing in the VFLW. Heck, she could even join Ali Gottliebson at Darebin, perhaps. Back to this game, though, and Boronia just trying to claw their way back inside. Around the pack is McLennan. Tried to smother the kick that went high up and under from the Basin. They come to broadcast side. Runner's got to get out of the way. He does indeed. Gottliebson, Speaker the Devil, is wrapped up. And in fact, has been shoved in the back in the eyes of Maddie Wright. Got a lot of players calling for it. One of them's Burkett further afield. Dean also might be able to get onto this one, but instead she lowers the eyes. And I think Parrott's got it in midfield. Now they go out across the hill. Watson sends it to the pocket. Mark is taken successfully. They're going to come inside 50. This is where Boronia do really well. I think that's McNamara. She can launch it to the top of the paint. But the mark is taken by that Basin defender. Here's a chance for them to reload again, Ryan.
Under a lot of pressure at the moment. It's been all the Hawks in this quarter. And it's going to come straight back. Looking for a target there, middle of the pack. Was that Hawking Greenheld. Does quite well against a couple of opposition Bears, and a free kick has been awarded, and it has actually gone to Greenheld. Jono?
So half-time in the reserves, the Division 3 game between the Eastern Devils and Croydon North Hemlock. Devils 22, Croydon North Hemlock 9.
Kick inside 50, bounce off the hands of a Basin defender. We'll get another stoppage. 3-point lead to the Hawks in this third term. 12 minutes gone. 1-1-7 to 4 behinds.
We've been talking a lot about who you might want to interview at Female Footy Focus, and I think perhaps the South Croydon Rezzies might be a chance for you guys to have a chat to, Ryan. I think
that's a very impressive win.
They've registered a massive result. And it'd be interesting to chat. Oh, gee, I think Molly O'Toole might be the best person to talk to here. What do you reckon?
I'm not too sure. There's the ball on
Stick to the elite social media.
Yes, they do have great social media, Jono, but interesting enough here, Brotto's been moved behind the ball, having a little bit of an impact in this last couple of minutes. The kick is going to cut off again, though, so the Hawks will go inside 50, but the numbers are all towards the Bears. Monk got her kick away, but it's into space, and who can run onto this first?
Look out.
It's picked up well there by McDowell. He's got a couple of Hawks to beat. She clears it out, but it's going to be cut off, and the mark taken by Carpenter. She'll send it back inside 50. The co-captain of the development team kicks it off to Miller.
Dean put the afterburners on, but just couldn't quite get onto that one, Ryan.
There's a few quick plays out here, so Miller inside 50 for the Hawks. Might just fall into the hands of McNamara. Competing well there was the Bears in that player there, number 39. Kick towards the boundary line. Gottliebsen keeps it in. Who can run onto this first? It'll be all the Hawks. They've got the numbers. Kale's behind if they want to go backwards. Almost picked up there by Decker. Competed well here. Now finds a bit of space to get this ball going forward and falls into the hands, though, of Brooke Priest for the Bears, who I think has been pretty impressive across the morning. Her kick finds a target, and this might be their best chance of the quarter so far, Jono. Gottliebsen go forward, but it's cut off by the Hawks again, so they'll take possession at it half back.
So Priest at the moment's in her 6th season at the Basin, which is just absolutely huge for that club especially. Great tackle there, made by that number 39. Off hands, speak of the devil again, there's Priest. Tried to send it forward, running onto it might have been Lambrou. And they can sort of kick it goalward. They won't get too far. Brotto in and around. Almost went through. Similar angle to how she attempted to get that one through before. And Kufel was on the last line of defence. So Boronia can go across. Down the hill, as it were. Decker sends it in the Slater direction. She's absolutely everywhere today, as well as Ali Gottliebsen. She couldn't quite get it on this occasion. Dalton sends it forward, and it has missed.
Just much better from the last couple of minutes, though, Jono.
So they do register their first score of this quarter. 5 behinds, trailing Boronia by 2 points. Kate, can we go to the boundary really quick? I believe you had the first half stat for inside 50s. What was it at the end of 2 quarters?
At the end of 2 quarters, it was Boronia in there inside 57 to the Basin's 18. So far this quarter, we've had Boronia have it in there inside 50 4 times to the Basin's twice.
Thanks, Kate. Doing a fantastic job on the boundary. The Hawks like to clear this one out. It's cut off by the Bears. Going inside 50 was Swan. Bouncing footy. Salanti will get there first for the Hawks. Picks it up nicely on the run. Her kick is going to be cut off here by Dalton, who's been good in the last 5 minutes. A kick towards goal. How's this one going to sit? It might just bounce over the top. Bouncing. I think it's hit the post. It's been touched over the line. Big opportunity. It's a minor score. 6 behind the Basin. 1-1-7 the Hawks. But better 5 minutes here for the Bears. And they might just catch them on behinds, Jono.
So as Kate said earlier, it was 4-2 at that point. It's something like maybe 4-3 or maybe even at this point.
4-3.
So there you go. Slater takes a courageous mark down the hill. Goes down the line. It's cut off though immediately by Grimmett. I would say across the pond, but there's no pond to speak of, so to speak, and the sun is out and shining wonderfully.
Free kick.
Free kick awarded.
Boundary.
To the Basin. What do you reckon that was for, Kate?
Holding.
So here's probably the first set shot on goal for the Bears that they've managed to get all day, but it won't really turn into a set shot. Oh, gee, that was absolutely courageous by Slater in defence. She might be able to pick this ball up. No, had to leave it behind. Delta Greenhold getting involved in there as well. And right calls for it. We'll have a ball up deep inside 50.
So the tap down 6 minutes ago in this third term, and it's a 1-point lead to the Hawks, 117 to 6 behinds, but the Bears are deep into their attacking half at the moment. Big tackle late, and that's holding the ball. That's an important one. It's Delta Greenhelg who is awarded with the free kick. She looked to play on straight away. Got a player out on the far side in Cahill who takes the mark. He's been impressive this afternoon or this morning. Her kick down the line. It's Lambo for the Bears, who was able to cut that one off. Might get a stoppage here. As the Hawks managed to clear this throughout. I think that might be Slater. Going to get a stoppage on that far side. 5.5 minutes ago in this third term. Both sides familiar with each other. Played quite a few times over the last few years. Played a total of 4 games last year against each other. 2 of those finals. Played in a final in 2022, which was less than a goal in it.
Yeah.
I like the close ones.
Boundary.
There's a ball up inside 50 for the Bears. Punch forward by Monk. Miller gets a kick forward for the Hawks, looking for McLennan. Bumped off the ball there. Well done by McDowell. Had a couple of good moments this morning. Brooke, Priest picks it up and thrown off the ball. And we'll get another ball up inside 50.
Now's a great time to go down to the boundary with Kate Green.
Currently, both teams are sitting on four inversions into each other's 50.
So 4 inside 50s apiece, that was, Ryan.
What was it?
4 inside 50s apiece.
Thank you.
This
I can't
quarter.
hear you either on my own mic.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, what was that? No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, all comes to commentary wing. Dean tries and fails. And the umpire crosses himself and says he'll have it directly in front of us. And we've got a lot of blue sky around here. Wasn't quite expecting it, but this is now turned into perfect football conditions here at Tormore Reserve. A Basin player sent one as high as the sky almost as it fell for Kimpton. It was immediately wrapped up. Burkett did well. Now to half forward they go. Trying to take the mark was McLennan there, I think, on that occasion. Now they go across. That is absolutely fantastic pressure put on by Jacqueline Gribble, I think it was. And we'll go again. That contest fell for no one in particular. Solante was dispossessed, still managed to get the handball away. Ball was intended for Burkett. She picks up the ball anyway, intercepts it cleverly. Slater twists and turns, does well. Now it's in the hands of Miller, who sent it forward. Almost intercepted there by Gibson, I think it was. Now there's a high up and under. The pain of 50. Dean can get involved here defensively. Does really well to put on the pressure. Almost shoved in the back there by McNay, I think it was. And we'll go for a ball up here on the 45 to the scoreboard. And seems to be the nature of the day. A lot of stoppages around the ground.
That's right. 117 to 6 behinds. Boronia lead by a point. If they get one late, this will really hurt the Bears, who have probably controlled the last 5 minutes. Slater throws it on the boot. Top of the goal square. 2 Bears run into each other. We're going to get another stoppage. 2.5 minutes to go in this third term. Deakin University match of the round. Ball up. Tap forward here from the Hawks. A lot of numbers for the Bears. They might be able to get this through Dalton, who does a full 360 spin before she gets a kick away. Burkett was held without it, and she'll earn herself a free kick. Might just be in range. Still a fair way out, but we'll look to centre this. Got to play by herself. Coming in there late was the defender, McDowell. Did well. Brotto got her kick away, but there is no one there for the Bears. It's Kale by herself. The ball eludes her. She's got a teammate that she can work with in Porter on debut. Got her handball out. Looking for Miller. did well, got it to the milestone woman in Watson. Ball ends up in the hands of Kale now, who finds a target on that far side. And it's Rebecca Carpenter in the long sleeves for the Hawks. Down the line looking for Slater. 2 Bears to compete with here. Out the back, and they seem to win out on this one as they kick down the line. Looking for Samagas. She's able to pick it up nicely. Her kick forward will fall into the hands of Slanty, who's been very solid, Jono, down back with 1:10 left.
She has been. Also 1 point in it. Still South Croydon and Whitehorse. It's 28 to 27 in favour of the home side, the Dogs. Back to this game though. The Basin might be able to claw back the lead late in the premiership term. Brotto has to beat a 2-on-1, so she decides to leave it behind. Salante very, very good in defence. Her kick almost found touch. Samagas can pick this one up though and kick goalward for Brotto, I think, who's picked it up and with the dribbler along the ground. Are you kidding me? That is the greatest thing I've ever seen from her. That is goal of the century, I reckon. Okay, goal of the year. That is unbelievable. And as the scoreboard says, I'm loving it. That is unreal. The Basin have clawed back the lead in the premiership term, 1-6-12 to 1-1-7, the home side, as we turn for home. Siren will sound. That is three-quarter time, finishing on probably the best thing possible I've seen pretty much all season.
I think so. I think you're right. Absolutely.
That is Danielle Brotto to a T. Kate, can we get your thoughts on that? That was unreal.
That was a brilliant tactic by Brotto and getting that goal. Inside 50s for that quarter. Boronia 5 to Basin's. No, sorry, Boronia 6 to Basin's 5, but Basin's actually used it this quarter.
They made it count. They really did. Well, we'll get some thoughts from the coaches as well as the final term on the Deakin University match of the round. Don't go anywhere, folks. 5 points in it. The Basin currently leading Boronia.
Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round between Boronia and the Basin at Tormore Reserve. And it is 5 points in it, Jono. 1-6-12 the Basin to 1-1-7 Boronia. And a late goal from Daniel Brotto right before the siren from the boundary, which was absolutely goal of the day, but goal of the year so far. And I think the women's competition, from what we've seen, there's not much better.
I probably overstated it when I said goal of the century, but to be honest, if any of us are around that long,
I did get a couple of messages come through.
We'll be able to. No, I mean until the end of the century, Kate. I think we'll be partying in paradise.
Oh, it certainly does.
Celebrating the great contributions of EFNL women's football.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's going straight onto the Instagram as a reel as soon as I get a chance. But very important goal too, because I think Cale's played pretty well against Brotto for most of the game, and then Brotto moved behind the ball and was able to get into the game that way and snuck forward late to get that one. But there was only probably one person on the ground who could kick that, and it's her. So very important one for the Bears, though, because I thought Boronia probably got on top in that third term for majority of the quarter, Kate. So it's an interesting one. 5 points in it. I think it was always destined to go down to the wire.
Well, considering that Boronia had it in their inside 56 times that quarter, and the Basin only had it 5, and Basin ended up with the goal at the end, it was pretty good. Sorry, just off to grab Scott.
Thanks, Kate. Going down to grab Scott Nicholas, I believe, on the boundary.
So just on Danielle Brotto really quick, she's had a couple of great attempts from angles that you'd expect her to kick it from, but she just hasn't quite had that. But now she's capped it off as we can go down to the boundary again. Kate's got Scott Nicholas.
Scott, interesting, very fairly equal third quarter. What's the game plan fourth quarter?
Yeah, we just got to not worry about the scoreboard. 2 scoring shots to 7 is kind of irrelevant in a game like this. We just got to keep backing the way we want to play and be a bit more aggressive and, see what happens.
It's always a pleasure to watch you, your team and the head-to-head. Never unexpected challenge. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
So thanks again to Kate Green for your fantastic work on the boundary as we go up for the final term. And Kate sprints across to try and get Matt Bailey, and we'll probably hear from him in a second as play continues here. The Premiership quarter has been won and done, and if you are a fan of superstitions, it has been won by the Basin. And so the Basin, and they would be absolutely on a high. Being able to play with such a great player as Danielle Brotto, and she kicked that goal in the final moments. And here's a chance for them again. Dean was the brick wall in that situation over the hill to give a stoppage. Kate, have you got us?
I've got Matt with me. Matt, we may need to turn this way a little. Great quarter. You needed that goal.
Yeah, we really did. And I mean, Brotz has been, producing all day and creating opportunities. And we know she loves that chaos ball up forward. But I think, yeah, that might relieve a few nerves of hers just to slot one for the game. And it's obviously not a high-scoring game. So at the moment, yeah, those 6 points that we have been a little bit inaccurate with are hopefully going to hold us on for this quarter.
It's always a pleasure to watch you and Boronia go up against each other, because you are two teams that are actually very evenly matched.
Yeah, no, they are. They're such a formidable outfit, and we felt like we've sort of at the same growth rate as Boronia over the last few years, and it's really good. Like, we've got a great relationship with Scotty, and it's all in good fun at the end of the day. But we just produce pretty good football between each other. So yeah, happy to create a spectacle for everyone out there today.
Thanks very much, Matt. All the best.
Thanks there to Kate with the assistant coach from the Basin. Matt Bailey is currently at the moment with a 5-point lead. It's inside 54, the Bears. The kick away here from the Hawks through Cahill. Cut off by Priest. Got her hands away before she was tackled. Got it to a teammate there in Hubber who socketed it off the ground. McLennan comes in as she's almost pushed in the back by her opponent there as we'll get a ball up. 17.5 minutes to go in this final term. 1-6-12 to 1-1-7. 5-point lead to the Bears. Been a defensive battle between the two sides. As this ball comes out to Kufel, just gets her hands away, and now they're off the Hawks to the middle of the ground. Might come back again because they've been well set up behind the ball, the Bears. And Jessica McDowell is one of those players who has stood out across the morning for the red and green. We'll get a ball up. Monk's tap down, goes forward, but it's Kufel who will be able to get to the ball first. We'll get another stoppage. 1-6-12, 1-1-7. Basin have had the 2 wins for the season, Boronia the 1. They have already met back in round 2 with the Bears winning by a very small margin, less than a goal in it. This game might finish the same way. Here's got Leapson. Her kick forward falls into the hands of Jessica McDowell again. Might have to feature in the votes, Jono. Have you been doing the votes this season? The 3-2-1s after games?
Not really.
Well, we're bringing it back today, so keep that in mind.
Yes, sir.
That's the Bears go forward. You don't have to call me sir, that's okay. Inside 50, free kick being awarded, and it's going towards the Basin. And potentially in range, still fair way out, so we'll see where this, it's passed off straight away. Holly Dalton, who's got a good kick on her, puts it towards a pack of players. Dangerous spot here, the tackle from Watson is high, and it's a free kick, Basin. And I believe that might be Danielle Brotto. It is. So she'll line up for her second, the Bears' second, and give them a 11-point lead if this goes through.
I'm a football purist. Seriously, Danielle, kick a point. We could both have a draw, I reckon, at the end of this.
We certainly could. Even if they do kick a goal, there's still plenty of time. There's 15 and a half minutes into this last quarter. Danielle Brotto to line up for goal number 2. He's already kicked what could be goal of the year, or goal of the century, according to Jono. Is this kick on its way? If it holds its line, I think it was no, it's not. It's through.
There it is.
And the Bears have got their second. Brotto has her second. 2-6-18. They lead the Hawks 1-1-7. And it's over to you, Boronia. What can they do from here?
2 second-half goals for Danielle Brotto. And, well, depending on the pace of this game and how well Boronia can exit out of defence and actually convert their inside 50s. Speaking of inside 50s, Kate, what have you got for us?
So far, 0 for Boronia inside 50s. Basin, 2 inside 50s with a goal as a result.
Well, that says a lot, doesn't it? And we go back in the middle then. Baronia's best chance to respond. Here's Slater, puts on the afterburners, sends it for home. I think that was, sorry, McNay. Yes, it was. Intercepting, but umpire Wright's got it very, very close to the teeth of goal. Got leaps it, got it down for Slater. She's got to work really well, but she's been infringed with. And there is a free kick, so this is very, very important for Rachel Slater to kick this. But she does go somewhat across, almost goes all the way. Out the back, the Basin defender's doing very well, but an out-of-zone free kick, it sounded like.
Boundary.
Let's go down to the boundary. Kate.
Head high.
So, head-high contact results, and the Basin can take it from defence. I think that was Grimmett. Thank you, Ryan. Slater, a chance to intercept. And holding the ball immediately, she got it. Oh, stiff.
So the Bears to clear this out of their back line, out at half back towards us. They have an 11-point lead, largest margin of the game so far. As this one manages to stay in play. Priest, umpire's called something. It's a free kick towards Boronia.
Called that it was just a throw.
Out of zone as well, again.
They look to go forward. Still 12 and a half minutes, so plenty of time, just the 2 goals in it. The handball off to Miller in towards a dangerous spot here. Greenheld slipped over, still got her hands off. Got Leapson, well pressured here. Got her hands off to Miller again. And she's caught for holding the ball. So free kick Bears, centre half back for them with 12.5 minutes to play in this final term. They lead by 11, 2-6 to 1-1. Kick down the line, looking for Brotto. And she stood up in this second half. Danielle Brotto has the 2 goals for the Bears. That has them in control in this last term. This kick here in defence is Ali Gottliebsen, who takes the mark. Coming back from the VFL this week. She'll look to switch this one. Out on the far side is Kufel. It's cut off though by the Bears. By Grimmett. They've got plenty of numbers around the contest. There's Grimmett again. Handball back. Samargis couldn't quite control it. Chance of the Hawks now to go forward in the direction of Slater. She takes the mark. Been impressive as usual, Rachel Slater. Back in towards attack here. Out the back was Gribble. A chance of the Hawks. She picks it up now. Shot on goal. It's going to be cut off by the Bears. Doing very well there. And that kick might be a bit much for Priest to work with, but she does very well. Got off to Dalton. Did very well in that one-on-one contest. Slipping over there. The Bears defender. Here's Slater. The class of her gets a handball off to a teammate. And the umpire's called something here. There's a ball up inside 50 for the Hawks. They will need one soon. Can't concede another one.
I feel like Danielle Brotto should be entering VFL discussions at the moment. And also for the fans wondering, the Darebin Falcons do play tomorrow out at Genesis Steel Oval. So local footy is very fickle, but then again, those VFL players and the access to the local leagues have with them is just absolutely fantastic and helps. So going to go against Emily Cahill there for a marking infringement. I think that might be Lily Grace Murrell. I'm not sure. Maybe she was just a late in. Does go in the Miller direction. She can't take a mark. Left it behind and then dragged it in. Almost got the tackle. And then got it out to Ali Gottliebsen. Nicely done. Parrott. Kick was for Slater. Bumped her way out of this one. Gained some crucial metres. Inside 50. Can they get a mark? No, they can't. Chance for Basin in defence, but lots of players on the ground, and we'll go for another ball up. 9 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock here in the fourth term. Can Boronia get one back? Up goes the footy. Rucks go at it. Salante goes around the body.
Free kick.
And a free kick to Boronia. McClellan. Not sure who I can award the foul against, but there was that one opportunity to do a foul call anyway. She kicks forward, can't quite get there, and we got a ball up.
Inside 50 here for the Hawks. 8.5 minutes to go, final term. They trail by 11 points, so they're going to need the next one very quickly. They've had a couple of chances late. Snap around the corner from Greenhag will bounce out of bounds. Bears footy in the back pocket. Taking that kick will be Ellie Weldon, I believe. But plenty of numbers around the contest inside 50 for both sides, and it's making it hard to score. This kick towards a big pack of play. Out the back there is Greenhag, picked it up nicely, got it for Slater. Slater puts it on the boot towards goal, and it sneaks through. And what a big time goal from Rachel Slater. She's got 2, the Hawks have 2. 2-1-13, trailing the Bears 2-6-18. If there's one player who's going to stand up and keep the Hawks in it, it's Rachel Slater.
So the thing is, Rachel Slater and Danielle Brotto are just on par with each other, and they are the power forwards for both teams, which just makes this game what it is. And
well, they're 2 of the best players in the comp.
Oh, absolutely. And across the entire 5 divisions as well. Has to be said, Super Rage Slater, absolutely fantastic. 7.5 minutes gone, to go, sorry.
Boundary.
In the final term, let's go down to the boundary with Kate Green quickly.
Inside 50s, Boronia 6 to Basin 2.
So, to a flyer, Boronia. Oh, that was very well kept in. Priest. Burkett. +1. McNamara.
Here we go.
Here's a chance for Slater. Around the body. Had to get the hands off to Carpenter, I think it was. Sent it along the ground. Here's a chance for the Basin to clear. They do just that, but it's going to go only as far as Burkett, who takes the mark safely. Options present, but she takes her time. 6:40 to go in the final term. She goes centre bound. It's in the hands of Solante, who's been fantastic all day. Definitely worth a vote, one would think. So the Basin, they do try and clear it, but here's Solante again. Slaps it onto the boot. Goes to the hot spot. Chance for the Basin to clear again. Hands off Swan. Ball's at ground level. To no avail. 6 minutes to go. Boronia 2-1-13 plays Basin 2-6-18. Here in the Deakin University match of the round between the Boronia and the Basin. You're with EFNL Media Manager Ryan Long.
The Hawks try to go forward again, looking for Burkett. It's cut off by Brotto. Gets the kick out, looking for a teammate there in Van. She was well beat there by Gottliebsen and Slater inside 50. Although I believe that might have been Watson. 50th game for the Hawks today. So out at centre half forward here for Boronia, as you said. 5.5 minutes to go in this last quarter. They trail by 5 points. Tapping it forward there, Burkett did very well. Got it off to Miller, or Solante, who goes forward. It's a 2-on-2, and it's Rachel Slater again who takes the mark. And she's not passing this on off. She'll be going back and having a set shot here. Probably about 40 metres out, Jono, maybe.
It's going to be a big kick.
But she's got the distance on her. She's already got 2. Looking for goal number 3 and to put the Hawks back in front.
Bang.
Kick on its way. It's not going to be a goal. Might stay in. Bounces through for a behind. 2-2-14 Boronia. 2-6-18 the Basin. 4 points in it. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock in this final term for the Deakin University match of the round.
Handy point. We can go out. We can go around the grounds just briefly. The halftime result. The halftime score, we believe, from the Devils and Croydon North Emlock. Devils 28. Croydon North Emlock 17. Only 11 points in it. The Devils obviously need to bounce back after a tough loss against Mooralbark, who today, in case you've missed it, have been defeated at the hands of South Croydon. Back to this game, though. Over the hill. Players hit the deck trying to get this one out. McNamara gathers. Sends it inside 50. Swan takes a great defensive mark. Plenty of space available on the fat side of the ground, but instead they go the thin one. That's Murrell, I think. Tried to claw forward, but Bree Watson was wrapped up at the end of all that. 3 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock here at Tormore Reserve in the Deakin University match of the round between two absolutely fantastic sides. Burkett gets it off to a teammate who breaks free. Got Dean lurking. Parrott at ground level is wrapped up. And we've got a stoppage very close to the half-forward flank, Ryan.
Absolutely, 3 minutes left on the clock. Last term, 2-6 to 2-2. Boronia trailing by 4 points. Basin with a lead. They're holding on dear life here in defence. And it's holding the ball. Free kick going towards the Bears. Deep in defence. and looking to take some time off the clock. She'll be in no rush to kick this one. She's called to play on, and she almost was caught there by two Hawks. Got the kick away in time, got leaps and cuts this one off. Pack of players out here on the far side will hold this one up. And Basin won't mind the constant ball ups or stoppages. That's just time off the clock for them. It's coming up to 2 minutes left in this last term. They lead by 4 points. The ball comes out towards the boundary line, cut off. Slater couldn't quite get there, so we'll get a ball up. Right on the boundary line.
And Rachel
Inside
Slater
50
is
for the Hawks.
Sorry, Ryan. And Rachel Slater is definitely the key to all this.
She is.
As umpire Wright gets ready to bring the ball back in, she throws it up. Dean at ground level, McNamara as well. Another ball up. 90 seconds. 4 points in it. Who gets the chocolates? In another edition, and indeed match of the round edition between these two teams. Clearing kick for the Basin. Here's a chance for Boronia to try and bring this one out. I think that was Watson at ground level just over the hill. Boronia still managed to bring it back in. But the mark is taken by Jamie Monk in defence at half-back. She can slow down the clock, Ryan.
Oh, she absolutely will. There's a minute 10 left on the clock. They're almost there, the Basin. Last 3 times these sides have met, there's been less than a goal in it at the final siren. It's going to be the same here today. Kick forward here from Carpenter. There's still a chance, the Hawks. They'll go towards the top of the square. The Basin have got 3 on 2, and there's Danielle Brotto, who's put herself behind the footy to take that mark.
Oh, wow.
With 45 seconds to go, she'll take her time before looking to find Brooke Priest. Could be cut off by Dean. Priest did well, kept it in front of her, kicked it off the ground, and she's done very, very nicely here.
Got to go by hand.
It's a chance of the Hawks. Big tackle by Van, and holding the ball, and that might be it. With 25 seconds left, Jono, they're going to run this clock down.
Van with a game-saving tackle, but Danielle Brotto of all people in defence with a save on the last line. Maybe we spoke too soon. Greenalg gets it in. Here's a chance for Boronia, maybe in the dying seconds. Van's got it again.
What's it called?
Holding the ball! And the siren sounds! It's Delta! Wow! Didn't expect this finish. Delta Greenalg.
Boundary.
Let's go to the boundary quickly.
It's never dull with a Basin Boronia game.
I don't think I've ever seen this before in this game between these two teams.
Oh,
here she is, Delta. Everybody is on the goal line. Delta goes for home. High up and under. And that's the game.
Wow.
Boundary.
Let's go to boundary with Kate Green.
Inside 50s for the fourth quarter. Boronia, 11 inside 50s with 1 goal, 1 behind, and Basin just with 2 inside their 50s with 1 goal.
Thank you, Kate. Oh, wow.
Oh, what a finish. We went the early crow too. I thought that was it, but cut off by Green.
I mean,
2 big moments.
Doesn't get any better. This is absolutely unreal. Kate, who should we speak to first, you reckon?
Okay, we'll quickly go with Matt. Matt, here we go. Quick.
So, Matt, what a game.
Congratulations, Matt.
Well, yes, congratulations indeed. And, well, I guess we're all in agreement, no matter who you are. The games between these two teams are absolutely unreal. Talk us through that goal of Danielle's in the 3rd term to send you guys with the win in that premiership quarter. What was going through your head?
Oh, God. I know. We just... these two teams don't fail to disappoint, do they? They turn it on every time we play each other. It's something pretty special. Look, low scoring today, but yeah, just an impressive game of football. Brotz, she just needed that first goal to relieve the pressure, I think. You know, she puts a lot of pressure upon herself up forward, and yeah, once she can release that pressure, she's a different ball game altogether. So stoked for her that she could just, get rid of a few hoodoos today. Obviously, we had the Devils last week, which is a tough game, and she was able to get back on the goal scoring board today, which is fantastic for her. So yeah, really should fill her with a bit more confidence, which is great.
Again, congratulations on the win. Go and enjoy it. Thanks so much for joining us. Also special thanks to Julia Baker for joining us as well, and hopefully she's enjoying her day. Thanks, Matt. All the best.
Thanks for the coverage, guys. Cheers.
So let's chat to, unfortunately, the losing coach.
Now we have Scott.
Scott Nicholas. I guess commiserations again. And as I said to Matt, games between these two teams, it gets better every single time.
Yeah, it's always a good contest, and we know what to expect when we play the Basin. They're a good team, and they've got a lot of good experienced players, and, big-time players make big-time plays, and, a couple of them had a couple of small opportunities, and they made the most of them, and, in a tight game, that's sometimes the difference.
Scott, my headset's not working, so I'm not going to be able to hear your answer, but just to ask you about Rachel Slater and her performance again. Obviously, we've talked about her each time we've come down here, but just incredible performance. Almost got yourself the win, but a couple of really big moments from her in that second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Rachel's incredible. I mean, we talked about it, I think, with Kate before the game, that the growth in her this season, having a full pre-season and a couple of games already with Port Melbourne, has been awesome. And she's still so young. She's only 21, so she's got a lot of really good football ahead of her. But I guess for us, we pride ourselves on having a really even squad where everyone plays their role and contributes. And, Rachel was incredible for us late, keeping us in it. But that's where we need others around her to support her and, approach it as a squad. But, yeah, she was incredible, as she always is.
Well, Scott, it has been fantastic talking to you again. Obviously, commiserations on today. But until next time, it's been great to chat to you, and we'll see you again.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Well done for all your great work. And, yeah, thanks for the coverage of the women's comp. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Scott. We really, really appreciate you. So, Scott Nicholas and Matt Bailey, they're talking to us after what was an incredible, incredible game. Let us then talk about our votes, and I have to give the 3 votes straight up to Danielle Brotto from the Basin. Absolutely fantastic. It is quite tough to award, I guess, the rest of them, but because it was seeming like it was night and day. I reckon maybe 2 votes. Brooke, it's either a toss-up between Jamie Monk and Brooke Priest. Let's just go with Monk. I think she was just fantastic around the ground. And, well, I think I have to give the 1 vote to Rach Slater. Absolutely fantastic stuff from these 3 players today. But, Ryan, what about you?
I'm going the 3 votes to Rachel Slater. I thought she was just enormous. Daniel Brotto was very good, particularly in that second half, but I thought Kale did a very good job in the first half. So I'll give 2 to Brotto because she did step up when needed with some big moments. And then I'm going to give 1 to Jess McDowell. I thought she was fantastic across the afternoon. Kate, do you have your 3-2-1 for the Boronia versus Basin game?
Sincerely can't go past Slater for 3 because she really was in absolutely everything. Then a quiet worker, Kimpton for Basin. She was everywhere. And then for 1, I'm equally tied between Greenhaw and Grimmett. They really were the quiet worker horses. So that's my 3.
Just what a fantastic game. I don't think I'll ever recover from that, and I don't think any of us will. It was just so great. I mean, usually we save the best till last, and I'm just off my absolute rocker when when a team gets up at the
Brotto kicked that goal on the goal of the century. You labelled it as.
Words come to mind quickly, don't they? But no, well, as the sun shines on a beautiful day here at Tormore, that just about does us for another Deakin University Match of the Round. Hey, don't forget you can also check out the EFNL Podcast Presents Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, where, of course, we do, I guess, bring to you the Deakin University Female Footy Focus podcast with, of course, my counterpart, Ryan Long, and Josh Ward as well. Maybe even I might be on it once or twice. But that, again, does us. I've been John O'Ven, and I've been joined by Ryan Long. Thanks so much for joining us, mate. Really appreciate it.
Great game.
Yeah, and to you, Kate, as well. Thank you very much, as always. And until next time, and also Megan Green on the camera. Until next time, I've been John O'Ven. He's been Ryan Long, and On behalf of LKLM Media and the EFNL Media team, thanks for joining us. Until next time, it's bye for now.